Then moving on to assessment. So we've got our formative assessment strategy, so AFL strategy in the classroom, such as mini whiteboards, homeworks, and then we've got our AMSA-WETLA, which is our low stakes testing. And then we've got summative assessments, so booklooks, learner voice, and then our more formal assessments. So AMSA-WETLA then. So low stakes testing is completed at identified points in our scheme of learning. And this is developed over the last academic year to include questions that require elements of all the mathematical proficiencies. So we've got an example here after the first little 2 to 3 weeks of teaching number. And you can see there's a variation of skills there, but you can see we've got the powers of 10 being used. And then the first questions really talk about the conceptual understanding and the fluency. And the last couple of questions then we look to problem solve, so developing the logical reasoning and their strategic competence. Off the back of these AMSA-WETLAs, learners are given point EA so what they're good at, and EWETLA, so they need to improve. And then they are given a specific sheet where they go away and develop from the AMSA-WETLA the skill that is relevant to them. We've also got feedback on our applications. So you can see here on that trip to London task that I described to you earlier, you've got the mathematical skill that is being covered, but then we are rating their proficiency. So were they able to correctly identify the correct mathematical operation, for example, or with fluency, were they able to show a high level of accuracy? And could they logically reason what to do? So learners are getting feedback on how they are developing those proficiencies. We have developed that new for this academic year, so we are going to be trialing this. We're going to be seeing how it's going, but it's the idea that learners understand that it's not just a skill they're developing, but also those different proficiencies. And then we've got our summative assessments. So there's been a lot of work gone into the development of our assessments to ensure that learners are exposed to questions that require problem solving and the application of those skills. We really want to give learners the opportunity to showcase their development in the mathematical proficiencies. So when I started as head of department, this is the test that the department was using. You can see it's very procedural heavy, very process driven, and there's very little opportunity for the showcase of logical reasoning or strategic competence within each topic. Now we are developing much more problem solving style assessments where learners have to show a development or a mastery of certain mathematical proficiencies, if not all, to be able to successfully complete. So I've just got a couple of examples here. So rather than just a straightforward subtraction question, again, problem solving using some percentages. So not just what is 75% of 240, but linking that back into a percentage of 900. Reading and interpreting different costs and deciding which one is the best value for money and how much money they will save. And again, looking at a problem that is descriptive and being able to identify the correct information, link that to the concept, and then problem solve. And for us, if learners are doing these, then they are developing those mathematical proficiencies and mastering them to a certain level. And at Newbridge, I'd like to think we are always in this cycle. So we're introducing something new. We monitor and evaluate through assessment scores, AMSA-WETLAs, booklooks, learner voice, and then we adapt what we're doing. And I think that is really the key to what Curriculum for Wales is, but also development of the mathematical proficiencies at Curriculum for Wales. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you found it useful.